Have you ever wondered why some people thrive during crises while others fall apart? Robert Greene answers this question in his book The 33 Strategies of War with a concept called the strategy of polarity, the external enemy. Hi friends, I hope you are doing well and welcome back to the Bookfire channel. In this video, we are continuing from the first part and diving into the second phase of the Polarity Strategy, the external enemy. According to this idea, we need to clearly identify our external enemy and confront it, not for the sake of violence, but to truly understand who we are and what we stand for. Without an enemy, we are just stuck in the middle, unsure of our identity or direction. Today, we are going to look at a powerful real-life example, Margaret Thatcher, a woman who not only faced two major opponents, one external and one internal, but also changed the course of British history. Stick around, you don't want to miss this story. In 1925, a girl named Margaret Roberts was born into an ordinary family in a small English town. From a young age, she learned that life is a battlefield. Her father, a local conservative politician, constantly reminded her, "Never take the easy way out." She went on to study chemistry at Oxford, but quickly realized that the real battles were in politics, not the lab. She joined the university's Conservative Association and began her political journey. In the 1950s, she entered parliament and later became a government minister. But she always believed that her party, the Conservatives, were too soft, too compromising, unable to stand up to their true rivals, the left-wing Labour Party. In 1975, she challenged and defeated the party's leader, Edward Heath, who represented the more moderate, pro-European wing of the party. This was her first bold move, a declaration of war against the enemy within. Thatcher began pushing the party to the right, insisting, "We don't need to please everyone. We need to fight for our beliefs." This is exactly what Robert Greene means when he talks about polarity. Create clear enemies to strengthen your identity. By 1979, Britain was in deep crisis, inflation, non-stop strikes, and soaring unemployment. That year, Thatcher won the general election and made history as Britain's first female prime minister. The Soviets dubbed her the Iron Lady because she never backed down, and she loved the nickname. This is where Greene's strategy really shines. Without a clear enemy, Thatcher would have been just another politician, but she created enemies and turned them into fuel. Her first major opponent was external. In 1982, Argentina's military dictatorship invaded the Falkland Islands. Thatcher didn't hesitate. She sent the British Navy 8,000 miles to defend the territory. Britain won the war and Thatcher's popularity soared. She united the country with a simple message: "We are Britain, standing strong against foreign enemies." That military gave her huge momentum and helped her win the next election with a massive majority. But her real battle was still ahead. Thatcher believed that the true enemy was at home, the trade unions. In her eyes, they were even more dangerous than Argentina. Her biggest domestic fight came during the 1984 until 1985 miners' strike led by Arthur Scargill, an extreme left-wing union leader. The strike turned violent with clashes between strikers and the police. But Thatcher was ready. She had already stockpiled coal and passed new laws to weaken the unions. In the end, she won. The strike collapsed, the mines were closed, and the unions lost their powers for good. Her free market vision had prevailed. She didn't stop there. In parliament, she mocked and defeated her political rivals one after another. People like Michael Foot and Neil Kinnock. Once again, polarity was the key. She stood firm, clearly defined herself, and took sides. Thatcher ruled for 11 years. Under her leadership, Britain went from being the sick man of Europe to a global economic power. She eventually stepped down in 1990 after internal conflicts and public protests, but her legacy still sparks debate. So what lesson does Margaret Thatcher teach us? And how does it connect to Robert Greene's strategy of polarity? More than perhaps any modern leader, Thatcher lived this strategy. Greene says, if you don't have a clear external enemy, you drown in the crowded faceless center. Your energy dissipates, you lose direction, and you end up replaceable. Thatcher did the opposite. She didn't try to please everyone or play it safe, she chose her battles. Sometimes the enemy was real, sometimes symbolic, but always clear. And she drew energy from these enemies. Argentina gave her the chance to unite the country and showcase her strength. The unions gave her the opportunity to push through bold economic changes. Even rivals inside her party, like Edward Heath and Michael Heseltine, helped define her identity more sharply. The result? 3 election wins, 11 years of power, and a reputation that still inspires strong feelings today. Love her or hate her, no one ignores Margaret Thatcher. That's the power of polarity. When you confront a clear external enemy, you create a strong, unmistakable presence. In life, business, or even personal relationships, if you want to be influential and truly stand out, you can't always be neutral or agreeable. You need to know who you are, what you are fighting for, and what you are not willing to compromise on. An external enemy, whether real or ideological, can give you clarity, energy, and purpose, not in a paranoid or hateful way, but a conscious choice to define yourself. Thatcher proved that sometimes the best way to know who you are is by knowing who you are up against. So, what about you? Who or what is the external enemy that's making you stronger? Let me know in the comments. I am really curious to hear your answers. Thanks for sticking with me until the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss the next part of the 33 strategies of war. Until next time, stay strong.